May I introduce to you Professor Toru Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man.
I made your game my bitch.
What is a bitch?
Episode of What the Hell Happened to Them? The Adam Sandler saga keeps on rolling, this time with the stellar Pixels. This, I believe, marks an era for us,
It's just
Joe.
Pixels, it's not stellar Pixels.
Oh. This, I believe, Joe, marks a new era for us, because now we're getting to the point of Sandler's filmography where these are the movies that came out while we began this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the first movie I remember coming out and being like, stop adding movies to this list. And then he's added like 5 since.
More than that.
Oh, it doesn't end. We're never going to catch up. It's never going to happen. And one's coming out
like about a month and a half.
Yeah, so like we're going to be just at the finish line. Then we're going to have one more movie to add on.
And then he has 2 movies coming out this year that are...
2 more movies?
Well, no, he has Sandy Wexler.
Yeah.
And then he has the Jewish movie.
But neither of those is the one that's coming out in April.
No,
that's Sandy Wexler? Okay.
That's on Netflix.
All right, so we might get away with a 2 Sandler year at long last.
Yeah, the good thing about this though is the rest of our movies are on Netflix that we have to watch.
At the time of this recording.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll have to take things off there all the time.
Hey, well, the next few after Hotel Transylvania, the rest are the Netflix movies.
Yeah. Okay. I thought Hotel Transylvania was on Netflix.
But it's not part of the Netflix.
Oh. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're that far in. Mm-hmm. Oh, so we are almost done.
Yeah.
Well, we have like 3 movies after this.
Yeah, I got Ridiculous 6, The Do-Over.
And then the Netflix, and then the hotel one. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Oh my God, the light's at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's kind of bright. I can't take it.
Joe, we're almost here. And then we got to go do Sandy Wexler. So, yeah, okay.
It looks... We should have watched the trailer before.
I'm watching no trailers. I'm going in blind. All the time going in blind. So Joe, give me the summary of Pixels.
Well, this was a short film that was like not very interesting, didn't really have anything to say, and it was just like, hey, nostalgia. And then Sandler's people were probably like, ooh, nostalgia. And it's just like these 2 kids, Kevin... I gotta hold off on my tangents because I really want to talk about the young kid who played Kevin James. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's Sandler and Kevin James are buddies that like to play arcade games. They were excited to the first day that there was an arcade. Then there's like a competition already right after like the first day that the arcade's there, or was there time passed? I couldn't tell.
I feel like it's like this long.
There's a long
it's
period.
A time gap. Like he goes there, they get introduced to the video game world, and then that guy finds the flyer for the competition. They go to another location.
But the one thing is, though, I remember the Kevin James character is like, "Hey, you just started playing this and you're so good," and then he's like, "There's patterns," and I'm like, "But it would take time to realize these patterns." He was good the moment he started playing these games. Yeah,
Joe, keep going with the summary. Come on.
Okay,
there's a lot of movie here.
Is there?
Come on.
He loses the competition against Peter Dinklage's character, and then we flash forward to him now. He's like a tech guy, and his life is how his life usually is. He's a hapless loser who likes girls, and girls don't like him because he's a loser.
He was left by his wife, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was left by his wife. And Kevin James is the president now.
Kevin James.
Put a pin in that. We're going to get back to that.
Okay.
That's a big thing to gloss over, so we'll come back to that. And then arcade games they come down from the universe.
The sky, the space.
And they just start attacking... Only America, or is it the whole world?
No, it's cities across the world. Perhaps you remember them blowing up the Taj Mahal with Pong.
Pong. And so then Kevin James is like, oh, well, my best friend was great at video games, so let's have him save the world. And then they save the world. That is the movie.
By being good at video games.
Yeah, they're great at video games.
Yeah.
Except for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but then
he has to get over his fear of Donkey Kong.
Of patternless Donkey Kong.
Oh, God.
To which I say, just get up there before it gets random, right? It doesn't happen until later levels. You only have to win one level.
I mean...
We'll save that when we get to the end of the movie.
It doesn't...
So, Joe, have you seen this short film before?
Yeah, we watched it.
Me and you watched it?
We watched it.
I don't remember watching this at all. When did we watch this?
We watched it when the movie was coming out.
What happens in this movie?
It's literally just the 5 minutes of the games. It's like 2.5 minutes, and it's just 80s arcade games attacking, like, kind of a city.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it.
It was just this random thing. Yeah, it was like a pastiche kind of video thing.
Yeah.
It's like a collage.
It's just more of like an art thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no story to it.
Did Sandler see this, or did somebody else see it and wanted to make it a movie?
Probably like Sony's Pictures or something.
And then they're like, we need a star, let's get Sandler.
Yeah.
Let's get Happy Madison involved.
Yeah.
Ugh. So
what a weird thing to do.
So, but Joe, this was your second time. You saw this movie when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Because I hate myself.
Okay, what's the
and
real
I'm a
reason?
dedicated person to this podcast.
Yeah, no, but I don't even think we had like just barely started it. Why wouldn't we weren't going to get to it for months if we had even if we had gone straight through.
I like seeing movies in theater. Just leave me alone.
We had thoughts early on when this podcast was still new to try to like record it while the movie was in the theater. We'd watch it and record it live.
We would have been fine. There was no one there when I went, and it was like the third day it was released.
I think it was the audio quality or something I was worried about because just with the surround sound.
Would they care?
No, but I don't think they'd hear us.
No, I'm saying, would anyone care?
Oh, please, we have to be nice to listeners. So, I want to talk. So, the opening of this teaser, that goes on forever.
Yeah, it's very long,
surprisingly long.
Which we've noticed is a thing that happens in a lot of Sandler movies.
He really
That's My Boy.
He really wants to set up this exposition. It's crazy.
And
to which I think you don't need to.
Yeah, you really
right. He's good at video games. That's it. Like you could already have them be good at video games. I don't need to see him learn about patterns and then go to the trial and then randomly befriend Josh Gad as a kid.
Yeah.
Just so you can have him later on in the movie and then meet Peter Dinklage and then have a bunch of contests with other people and then have a final contest and then the contest is over.
I'm so tired with you just explaining it to me.
And there's trying to like create this paradigm for kids where like the kids like riding around their bike and then they go to the arcades. If this movie, which we assume is aimed towards kids, do you think it even resonates with kids? Do you think kids know what arcades are anymore?
No.
Yeah. So and we spent so much time in these arcades and kids are like, what is this thing, right? And then they even get jokes on that when Adam Sandler was an old creepy man. And he's hanging out with the kid,
and he goes into
a rant that we've heard in many movies already about how kids these days are like crappy and stuff, and how it was much better in the old days. Your video games these days are just random hacking and slashing. You used to have patterns you had to overcome. You had to think.
And you know what? At the end, he has to do that.
No, but Adam Sandler learns the kid's lesson of like, I just imagine what it's like if I'm myself doing that. To which case, no, you don't. No, I've seen people play video games. I don't play as much myself, but my roommates do. I see them play it. They're not thinking, oh, what would I do in that situation? They do things because they know there are no repercussions. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. If they die, they'll just get another chance. They Tom Cruise it.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you think would have a lower approval rating? President Trump or President Kevin James?
First of all, the weirdest thing was nothing in that childhood sets up that one day Kevin James will be president. Nothing in that childhood makes me think one day that will be our fat bastard president. Like that, never. He's just some regular kid growing up in some regular neighborhood who isn't, like, it doesn't seem to be good at anything.
He doesn't seem to care about anything.
And he becomes just this.
Oh, this sounds so familiar,
this awful
though.
President. At least Donald Trump, you know.
What is happening?
He grew up rich. He grew up famous. People know him. It makes sense someone like him could become president. But Kevin James is just some nobody who for some reason ended up becoming a politician. And I believe it. It is the most unbelievable role I've seen him play ever.
that's saying something.
Yeah, and he's clearly terrible at his job.
He doesn't even, like, you can't even buy him as a mall cop.
There's no reason. He doesn't do anything very useful in this movie other than get Adam Sandler hired. Right? Like, he has that one thing at the claw machine in the beginning in the teaser when he's a young kid. I'm like, oh, I bet he's going to do a claw thing later on. And indeed he does. And it does literally, he, like, grabs one creature and then abandons the machine.
Was it Frogger?
I think it was Frogger. Yeah. Something like Frogger. And he had the Chewie mask on in case we forgot that happened in the beginning of the movie. So we're not confused why he's randomly bringing the thing. And by the way, Kevin James, you are the president. And you're like, oh, they want me to be in a bunker. But no, you got to be in the bunker, Kevin James. You were the leader. You have to be in the bunker. Don't come out so you can do literally nothing. He went to do the Donkey Kong ship with them, and he did nothing while he was in the Donkey Kong ship. You didn't need him in the third act at all.
Are you wondering who would be the designated survivor?
Yes, it would clearly be Jack Bauer. So like he comes in to bring him the gun for the third act, and then you can go back to your bunker. If you need. Why is Kevin James in this movie? Why is
he's the only one of his friends?
Yeah, why is Chris Rock? You couldn't get Chris Rock to be the president.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
You couldn't get the guy.
I would have Rob Schneider as the president.
You couldn't get Rob Schneider to be president. You couldn't get
Alan Covert.
You couldn't get Alan Covert to be president. You couldn't get. I can't remember his name from Just Shoot Me.
What? Hold on.
Yeah.
Which president is most like Alan Covert? Think of the blandest president.
So like Warren G. Harding. Right, that'd be my guess.
Anyways,
Dennis.
What's with the Fantasy Island thing?
What?
There's more tattoo in this movie.
Yeah, but they're doing just 80s things, right? So you had all the other 80s things. So the Fantasy Island was a big thing in the 80s. That's all. It's not related.
It just feels like he has this. We're gonna see a Fantasy Island reboot.
He might have grown up with Fantasy Island. Whatever. He likes Fantasy Island, so he picked that 80s thing along with Madonna and the two musicians.
Yeah, hold on, because I know where you're going.
Yeah. Brian
Cox says my favorite line in this movie.
Yeah.
You heard Hall & Oates. You blew it. Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Great. I love him.
It was.
He's really selling this movie for me.
Yeah, I mean, and they really I can't tell you how many times in this movie, listeners, in case you haven't seen it, that they want you to know that there's a pattern to the games, because they want you to know how they're going to beat them. And when we see them magically start winning after they had been magically losing, now we know why, because Adam Sandler knows the patterns and everybody else does not. So at least once every 3 minutes, they talk about patterns and whether or not patterns actually exist or whether or not they're helpful. But they have to say it all the time. It's so heavy-handed, I can't take it.
What was up with Kevin James doing the George W. Bush thing, reading to the kids the book? That was weird. I don't know why.
They're just trying to show like he's just this dumb goofball. It's like this teaser reveal, right? Like you don't like as far as you know.
But that was so long ago now.
I don't think it's shot at George W. Bush. It's just something that they do.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, let's have Kevin James be outsmarted by a 5-year-old. No, it was like the reveal so that you think it's just him and Kevin James like being buddies at a bar, and then it turns out that guy's a president. He's just going to this old bar, which would never ever happen. He would never stay in touch with Adam Sandler. He would have long ditched Adam Sandler long ago to pursue his career in politics so that he could rise up to the ranks of national leader. I have strong feelings about this.
Do you think Trump left his best friend at the arcade?
No, because Trump never had a normal childhood. That's the thing. Trump never had a normal childhood like Kevin James did. So Trump always had his weird presidential businessy friends, like that, whatever. Did Chris Columbus direct this movie?
Yes, he did.
Why did he do that? Because he hadn't been getting work lately? Had he been getting work? I haven't seen him in years.
I will look up that in a second.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, how much do you think this movie was made for? Because it's like a big blockbuster, though. It's like it has the right to have.
Yeah,
some money
it has.
For once.
Yeah, it's got you got a big cast here. You've got like name properties people can remember. It's like this action family movie. I would say. How much did his last movie cost? What was his last movie?
It was Cobbler.
Oh, never mind then. What about the movie before that? Was that Blended?
I want to say yeah.
How much did Blended cost? Do you know?
Probably like $80 million.
All right, I would say maybe like $110 million.
Go lower.
Lower?
Yeah.
Or 80 again?
88 million.
88. Okay.
That's
surprising. That's pretty good.
It's lower than a lot of shitty superhero
especially
movies.
since 20 million of that is Adam Sandler, so that's doing pretty well.
God.
Yeah.
Domestic.
Yeah.
It was a bomb.
Yeah, what did it get?
It made 78 million.
It's not awful. It's.
I don't think they added in all the.
No, so you add when you add the marketing, you got to add half the budget, right? So you're looking at, you want to make like $135 million, but if your domestic is 78,
it's not bad.
You could do worse. If it does lose money, it's not going to lose a ton.
Well, you know what? He didn't do worse, because overseas it made $166 million.
Why did this movie travel?
I don't know.
Why?
I mean, it has the creator of Pac-Man in it. Do you think?
Oh, is that really him, or is that just an actor? Was that really him?
That might be him.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
I'm
not a big
I was kind of
Pac-Man
barely
guy.
looking at the credits to see if it said like somebody playing himself, but it was Hall & Oates were playing themselves.
I don't think that was Hall & Oates from like a video.
Yeah, but I
from a long
think
time ago.
maybe they got their voices.
Oh yeah, you're right. Christopher Columbus. He goes by Chris Columbus only.
Hey, CC, how you doing?
This guy has had some weird fucking movies.
What's he done lately?
So before this, he did Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, which I guess
that was him.
Which I guess is a franchise that went nowhere because there's only one of those. I guess.
No, I think there's a second one. I think there was at least a second one.
Before, and then he did that. It was in 2010.
Oh boy.
Before that, he did I Love You, Beth Cooper.
I remember that
in
movie.
2009.
I remember that movie. Yeah.
The movie before that.
Yeah.
Rent.
He did Rent?
That's what it's saying. I'm going to double check that, but that's crazy.
That's insane.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
And I didn't like that movie.
And before that, the first two Harry Potter movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
I had no idea. That seems interesting. I think they got a new director each time.
Well, after that, I think they got a new director. Okay. And then David Yates, I think, took over after like a certain point.
All right.
Before that, Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And then before that, Stepmom. Have you ever heard of that movie?
No.
It's with Susan Sarandon and Julia Roberts.
No.
Oh, it's a real crier.
Oh,
yeah.
What about stepmoms?
Yeah, because Susan Sarandon's she's the main mom, and Julia Roberts is the stepmom. And Susan Sarandon's dying of cancer.
What?
Yeah, and it's really. And my mom took me to see this with my sister. I was 8 years old, and I'm like, "Mom, you're not gonna die, are you?" And I got so fucked up from this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he made Mrs. Doubtfire, the Home Alone movies. Yeah,
he's had like outside of the 80s. In the early 90s, he's had a largely unimpressive career. It's crazy, because we remember him fondly. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think in the 90s he was really racking up those hits.
I don't know. I think once you have those...
Home Alone was like one of the biggest hits
exactly.
ever.
You have two Home Alones. Mm-hmm. You have Mrs. Doubtfire, and then that's it. Right?
Yeah, and then he had the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, whatever, Harry Potter. Like, anyone could direct those.
I've heard that he was big in the casting. Because did you know that Steven Spielberg wanted to direct the first Harry Potter with Haley Joel Osment as Harry Potter? Did you hear about this?
That would have been awful. They got...
Can you imagine him growing up as Harry Potter?
Is that why Steven Spielberg didn't do that movie, or didn't do the movie because they couldn't get Haley Joel Osment, or did they?
That's why he did AI. Yeah. Full title: Artificial Intelligence.
I just like if I'm a studio, I'm like I could have Steven Spielberg or I could have Chris Columbus. Like, wouldn't you go with Spielberg?
Yeah, but who's cheaper?
Oh, that was the thought in their giant blockbuster Harry Potter movie.
Well, in Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like Steven Spielberg, a very hot property like Harry Potter, that feels like a slam dunk.
Yeah, but he wanted to take it to America, and Chris Columbus was willing to do it in England with how the author probably wanted to do it.
Oh.
Spielberg really wanted to take it to America.
Okay.
And, Americanize the whole thing.
No, that makes sense. You'd have got a lot of fan backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be so weird, right?
Yeah. Again, those...
I don't like those movies at all.
Again, those movies, with the exception of, I guess, the third one.
Quarons.
Yeah, I feel like people, you could sleepwalk through directing those things, They're very studio driven, so it's like the Marvel movies, right? You're just kind of part of... You're just kind of like a cog. Just getting the work done, directing traffic. So, good for Chris Columbus. He gets those nice royalties, but So
they play on Freeform, right?
Yes, it's Freeform now. It's Freeform now. It's been Freeform for like a year. Like, we shouldn't be impressed anymore.
But it's gone through so many changes.
Yeah. The video game battles in this were, like, just as intense as that Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie.
Are you talking about Over the Top?
Over the Top. I can never remember the name of that movie. Because they really, like, I just remember them, like, panning through the arcade. And then, like, they really want us to think it's, like, this big, intense movie, but...
I haven't seen that movie, but I want to see it.
It's so boring to It's, like, not over the top. I'm talking about this movie.
Oh, okay, good.
It's just so boring to watch. But that's the same, like, I think, like, you're taking something that's not interesting to watch and trying to make it, like, big and sporty and eventful, but it's still... Like, in your mind, you're like, okay, but this is still just... They're just moving around a joystick. I just got to watch people talk at each other. Like, it's just like, it's like,
they try to make a card.
I can't be. This is before the video games even come to life. Okay. Like, this is them at the video game machine, and I can't. And they're trying to make this scene too big between him and Peter Dinklage, and
you're just watching them play a video game.
You just want to play a video game, just like but they're trying to make us think it's like this big intense thing. But like, and I can't fault the director because there's not really a great way to do that. Like, it's just not interesting to watch. So it's just a bad scene to write. Like, that's just unfortunate that had to exist in this movie. But there's not really a great way to do it. So, and it's like, and Kevin James is
more of a spectacle thing.
Maybe the crowd. Maybe the crowd was kind of like whatever. Because what are you trying to showcase? You're trying to showcase that Adam Sandler's good at patterns, and Peter Dinklage is better than him because he doesn't need the patterns. So we're trying to see Adam Sandler's
cheats.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet. So we're trying to see Adam Sandler's weakness here, but his weakness is just. Like, we don't even know who wins the thing at the end, you know? Like,
his weakness is himself.
Yeah. So, and then he's old, and Kevin James is like, you have a shitty job, you gotta get out, right? Too bad. You don't think you were ever good at video games, and that's a useless skill now. To which I would say, that was a useless skill back then, too, Adam Sandler.
He is getting old. He was 49 when he made this movie.
Oh my God, he is old. He doesn't look that old, though. Right?
I think he's starting to show a little age.
I don't think I wouldn't say that guy's a 50-year-old. He doesn't look like a 50-year-old to me, so...
Well, Tom Cruise is 54.
Tom Cruise looks great for 54.
I think he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's doing his own stunts in those movies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This movie is just excessive on nostalgia, and I'm not a big nostalgia guy. I don't get it.
Yeah, I've fallen off the nostalgia.
I never liked it. I didn't like it when the 80s were coming out, when we couldn't be nostalgia for it, and now that they're starting to get to the 90s stuff, like, I certainly don't want any part of it, and nobody else should, and it's weird that they do, but those things weren't good when we were young, or they were only good because we were young, and there's just no value in going back to it. To me, it's just, why waste our time going back to something that wasn't as real as we remember it anyway, you know? Don't make that Power Rangers movie.
Ooh,
just don't do it.
Not good.
Just don't do it. Like, when we were 5, it was fine to watch, but you don't need to watch it now because you used to watch it and you liked it so much when you were 5. When you were 5, you liked a lot of things you don't like anymore, so leave them when you were 5, and it's okay. Let those memories be what they are.
They're like, but it's cool now.
Like, you wouldn't watch the show. Like, they had it on Netflix for a while. You wouldn't watch that for nostalgia. Yeah, no. So why would you watch it as a movie? With people, who is it? Anyone even in it?
Do you remember when we tried to watch that last scene?
Yeah.
From the movie we did? From like 95?
Yeah, awful. Looks awful. I think that's 98. Looks awful.
No, it was that late.
I think it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Terrible.
Do you want to know something crazy though?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park looks so good still.
Yes. Because most, I mean, for the close-ups, they are robots. And robots age well, and for the farther shots when they are CGI, I don't know, they just were able to do.
They blended it so
well. Yeah, they were able to get the cinematography just right, where it's just a little bit harder to tell, like they're that far away from the camera or something, where we get away with
93.
it. No, that's the way to do it, right? That's what gives the longevity. Avoid the CGI as long as you can. By the time, I said this before, I think on this podcast, by the time that third Avengers movie comes out, that first Avengers movie is not going to look good, and
it's just not a good movie. It's a really boring movie.
I think a lot of people like it, and it's probably... I haven't seen it.
I think that 94% on Rotten Tomatoes is a little too high.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I think it gives superhero people, the audience, what they like, everything they like about it, like at the height of what that genre is able to do, compared to probably like the second one, it seems.
I liked superhero movies.
Well, they don't seem to like it.
I did not like that movie when I saw it.
Okay. Listen, I can't.
Bored with it.
I'm just trying to. I don't know why I'm trying to defend the Avengers.
Yeah,
a movie I've never seen in a genre I've never liked.
My train.
I can't insult it because I've never seen it, so I just don't want to do that. So anyway, the point of my story is, I don't like nostalgia. It's a movie steeped in it. I don't care. I don't think you should market a movie around nostalgia. I don't think you should market a TV show around nostalgia. I hate all the reboots. I don't think Lethal Weapon needs to be a TV show, and it bugs me.
What about Beverly Hills Cop?
Don't think Beverly Hills Cop needs to be a TV show after you failed to make it a movie. So. And what else to do? I don't think MacGyver needs to be done again because MacGyver's kitsch. There's no reason to do that. Like, it just.
Okay, let's change it. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What accent is Peter Dinklage doing in this movie?
Peter Dinklage, by the way, seems to be the only guy trying in this movie.
Oh, Brian Cox, come on.
No. Brian Cox is doing what Brian Cox always does.
He reminds me of his character in Adaptation where he's just the angry screenwriter yelling at Nicolas Cage.
Yes. So Peter Dinklage is like trying to get his character like an accent, a bit of a personality, and trying to get some jokes out of like little things he does with like his hands and his face. So I give Peter Dinklage props for taking a nothing part and doing something with it.
Yeah, but when Brian Cox is just yelling in the war room.
Yeah, the typical angry general who wants to blow everything up. Yeah, I'm glad we had that guy.
All I could hear was when he's playing in Adaptation when he's just like, and God forbid, don't use voiceover. I'm just like, and then like, because Nicolas Cage is doing very smart movie.
No, I like Adaptation is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So and then of course you had another movie where Adam Sandler's arguing with the younger generation about the good old days, right? Some more.
Do you think this movie
nonsense.
is self-aware?
No. What makes you think that?
I don't think it is. I was just wondering if you thought so.
I
feel like it's like, we know we're making a funny movie, and I'm like,
is your movie funny? Is your movie funny?
Is there jokes in this?
Yeah. Does your movie have jokes? Let's talk about when he meets the girl, the love interest. Who is that?
That's Michelle Monahan. I wanted to watch True Detective when I saw her.
Oh, I was trying desperately. I'm like, I've seen this girl before.
Yeah, she's always got these terrible parts where she's like, I can do so much better than this.
Yeah,
but you
it's
know
very
what?
unfortunate. Has she done anything better?
I don't know if she's. I don't know.
We'll cast you. What's her name? Michelle Monahan.
Michelle Monahan.
We'll cast
She's
you.
in Gone Baby Gone.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
She's in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
That one's fine for what it is. It does its job well. If you like that, it's perfect for you. She's invited. She's hired Adam Sandler to come and install her TV because her son. She got a divorce and she's trying to buy her son off with high tech gaming stuff. And then he goes to get her to pay the bill, and she's crying in the closet. She's having
a sippy cup of
wine, and she's crying. She's having this post divorce midlife crisis, and then he comes in, and like 5 minutes later, he fixes it.
He's so creepy, though.
He fixes it. Yeah, he's just a creepy guy in a closet. And he's like, I got divorced too because I was trying to get my wife pregnant.
What is with that orange?
Yeah, I think that's his uniform.
I don't care.
I think he has to wear it.
Weird.
Yeah, that might have been on purpose, so that doesn't bother me. It's just weird that he goes and he fixes it. They have like a little Mewtwo kind of thing, but he tries to kiss her. She's like, "Oh, you're just a bum," and he's like, "You're just a snob," and that's the most.
Is that a meat cube?
Yeah, it's the blandest two-dimensional interaction ever, and they just drag it on throughout the whole movie. Then they start joking about it, and you're like, just shut up.
I think Sandler's going for how bland he can make his romantic interests, like the setup for it, because I had this problem back in well, maybe a little after 50 First Dates. Yeah. The second Barrymore. Yeah. It's
the Before Sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's like my favorite one.
Yeah, that one's your favorite one?
The second one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
love the third one.
Oh, the third one was good.
The third one just rips your heart out. I love it. So there's like a 40-minute scene where they're arguing in a hotel room.
I just don't know if the third one is good if you don't have the first two, though, right? The second one I feel like can just stand alone on its own.
That's an interesting thought. I feel
like
it can, because what it is you're just looking at this couple. We don't need to know how they met per se. We just hear about the adorable stories, and we see like these old pictures, and then you just see this couple just falling apart.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thought there. So I don't, but I will never be able to say that.
Wouldn't it be great if instead?
Oh, I can say that because see, I don't know. I mean, CP hasn't seen the other two yet, but he saw the third one with us. He just came. Hey, CP, we're going to movies. You want to come? He's like, all right, sure. And he came and he left. He's like, oh my god, that was the most tense thing I've ever seen. This 40-minute argument. 40 minutes they just argue and you just can't look away and you're just in the whole time. You're like, how is this gonna go? What a great scene to dissect.
Can we to the Criterion Collection scene?
All right, we got off topic here.
Well, no, I'll bring it back.
You talk about what you're doing.
Because I was thinking, what if instead of we had instead of Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke, Richard Linklater directed the Before Sunset, Before Sunrise, and Before Midnight.
Richard Linklater did direct those movies.
Yeah, but with the actors Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. That
improv would be so weird.
Oh,
right? Because that's what those two movies are.
He knows how to work with actors.
Yeah, but like he was writing those scripts with those two guys.
That's what I'm saying. Start from the beginning.
He'd have to write it with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And Drew Barrymore.
Can you think when Sandler was the hottest in '95?
That would have been crazy. That would have been pretty crazy.
And then we can watch his career keep going with it. I mean...
Yeah, that's an interesting...
Because Ethan Hawke's career has been kind of weird.
Ethan Hawke...
He's fine.
Ethan Hawke has had a hard time breaking into... Like I don't want to say mainstream. But
I mean,
like,
after Reality Bites, it's all downhill. I love that movie.
Like he just he does becoming like a legitimate A-lister. Like he just hasn't really. I don't know if he's picked bad movies or.
He's made some really cool choices.
But like his indie films are all pretty cool.
Really cool.
But when he tries to become like this A-list Sandler type guy, it just doesn't seem to work well. Or he picks bad projects, or he gets stuck with bad movies.
Or maybe he was just too busy filming Boyhood.
No, they did that like 2 weeks out of the year. No, but then they found time to do Sinister in there. So
terrible movie.
So it's you know that only in the Kevin James administration does the stereotypical blow him up general become the most rational man in a crisis room.
Ooh, Brian Cox.
When he is seriously talking about. He's the only sane person in a room that is seriously talking about Galaga drone strikes. Right? So Kevin James is like, hey, I think this is a video game based on what this guy that you've never met and has no political bearings or degrees whatsoever.
I love when someone was like, is that the sandwich guy?
Yeah. Comes in, he says it's a video game that's attacking us. And everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe that guy.
They're all like, yeah, sure, okay.
And then the blow-up general's like, are we seriously talking about video games here? Like, he wants to blame it on Iran or whatever, but that at least makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's much, if the newscaster saying, if the newscaster saying, hey, Iran, we think maybe blew us up, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I'd buy that. But if the newscaster came on and said, hey, we think Galaga attacked our base, and I'd be like, what? I mean, what is happening on the news right now?
Let me tell you.
Yes.
This was a movie that just had one pass on it, and then they were like, all right, get into the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, if you had someone who's had an interesting thing to say, I don't think I don't know why if he has this kind of material say something. I don't know why he doesn't want to say anything with it. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, I don't
because there's so much you could do with this.
I don't know. Wants to get in with that. I mean, who wrote this movie?
Tim Hurley. The guy who writes all of his fucking movies.
Well, then of course, Joe.
That's why it's exciting to see the Noah Baumbach project coming up.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Like when he takes these other weird things that are outside of his wheelhouse.
That's an interesting. Dustin Hoffman and Ben Stiller.
I mean, at least Dustin Hoffman and Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler, they all know each other. You know, they've all been in movies together.
The Cobbler.
Ben Stiller.
What did they
do? Big Daddy.
No.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
That's what I meant to say. I was at a hockey game the other night, and they have the jumbotron. They have things where they tell you make some noise happen. And so one of the things they did was they just ran. And we've gone to a few of these, and this is the first time I've ever seen it. There is they have Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore with the puck, and he's like, hey, everybody, make some noise. What are you doing? And nobody makes noise. He's like, everybody make some noise. And then they all do. It was just, the crowd got into it. It was the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, this is the clip you picked? This is so bizarre.
Oh, when he's on the golf course.
Yeah, he's on the golf course. Yeah. He wants everybody to make noise for him.
I was hoping you were telling me that someone was had no shirts on, and they had letters on their chest that said happy, and then they turned around and said rules. Yeah, nobody did that. There you go. And when Josh Gad
randomly.
I don't want to talk about Josh Gad.
When Josh Gad,
don't like Josh Gad,
who is this weirdly
I don't
overrated
know.
actor, who had a good role in the Book of Mormon. I can only assume because I've never seen it, because tickets are like $1,000. And all of a sudden he was like this big Hollywood A-lister guy for a long time, and I've never seen him.
Was he?
Yeah.
What did he do?
When I say a long time, I mean, like, there was like I just remember he just appeared like everywhere. He appeared in TV shows, he appeared in movies, he appeared everywhere. Like he was
in the comedians with Bill.
Yeah, like he's Bill Crystal. Yeah, he's there all the time. Like, so all of a sudden this guy became like this hot commodity, and how everybody wanted to cast him and crap. And like he just feels like he does the same thing every time, and I don't like the bit. I don't like the bit.
He's in those Kevin Hart movies.
Yes.
Just one? I don't know.
And now he's in the Snowman thing. You're right. Now he's got all those Snowman royalty monies coming in. So
yeah, he sings Frozen stuff.
He sings Frozen stuff. So he shows up and he's like, "Hey, I got this tape of One Tree Hill, and there's an alien broadcast on it."
One Tree Hill, what?
Yeah, that's what he records, and then the alien broadcast interrupts it. To which I say, how did more people not see like this and show, like, this is the internet age? How are people this should be blowing up on Twitter everywhere. This thing should be uploaded like 5 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, this is another thing no one considered when they were writing.
Yeah, like he's the only guy that found it, because every other broadcast after that is shown to the fucking world.
It's just,
so why was this one shown to Josh Gad just alone?
I mean, we should not expect anything different, but it's just like, I don't know.
And then
it's actually when I watch these movies now, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and then you just get more pop culture references, isn't it? Like, it's like the one guy was like, "Oh, the Where's the Beef lady said that blah blah blah."
God, I knew you were gonna say something.
First she said, "Where's the beef?" and then she said the actual plot stuff. So I was like, and that passed that off as a joke. Like, this is like Family Guy syndrome all over again. That's a big thing of what I think has hurt The Simpsons. I think The Simpsons have tried to keep up with Family Guy. Ugh. And so
how's Family Guy still on the air?
Exactly. One, their shows are getting faster, so they're not taking time to breathe and do character moments. And two, most of the jokes are like pop culture-y things, and they're just not as funny anymore. Like, that's where I think they kind of trying to keep this raise up with Family Guy, and it's just hurting comedy in general.
You don't get great things where they go to Bronson,
Missouri.
This is, you want Branson,
Missouri. This is Bronson, Missouri. I saw Charles Bronson in Once Upon a Time in the West, Sergio Leone film. Might be one of his best ones. Very good. And then he totally sounds like.
I think
he totally sounds like the Simpsons impression of him. Like he doesn't talk for a lot of the movie. When he shows up, he's like, "Hey, I am a gunner."
I mean, they were probably doing that on purpose.
Like, I know, it's just like, it's like he sounds like a cartoon.
Do they look like the...
It's weird that there aren't more, other than the fact that Charles Bronson isn't a big name, it's weird that there aren't more Charles Bronson impersonations out there, you know? Like, Captain Kirk gets impersonated all the time, but Charles Bronson is just like, he's ripe for it.
There's two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
I want to see a movie where Sandler still does his shtick.
Yeah.
But the women don't buy into it.
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie.
Like, they don't find it charming ever.
And, like, it just doesn't work.
That would be... I would love that movie.
And
that would be a great movie.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, why isn't my man-child bit working? Yeah.
Maybe he grows, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be like an alternate movie for like the week.
Well, here's sort of the crappy thing about this, right? Like, the love interest here falls in love with Adam Sandler, but it's only because Adam Sandler saves the world. Mm-hmm. That's what it took to bring these two people together, which makes me feel like
she's also very good with her son.
Yeah, whatever. But which makes me think, but that wasn't enough. So, because he had to save the world for her, so she wasn't going to give him a second look because she's snobby. Which makes me think, is this relationship on good foundation? If that's what it took to win her heart, he had to save the world and save her son from Space Donkey Kong. Mm-hmm. That's what it took for this love to form. I just don't buy it. The blended thing, I buy more. This, I don't buy. This is ridiculous.
Wait, hold on. Can we go back? How did the blended people get together? Weren't they, like, not supposed to be on the same vacation, but they got on the same vacation?
Yeah, but then they don't like each other for a long time, but then but it forces them to get to know each other more. They're not getting to know each other more in this movie. She's just seeing him be good at driving a car in a Pac-Man thing.
Do you think Michelle Monahan was like, oh, I can't wait to kiss Adam Sandler? I know I have that Sandler kiss coming up.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And he's like, just another woman.
And so you're the president, and you have now committed to this.
I hope she wasn't like that, by the way. I can't. I mean,
We'll have to ask her.
I feel bad.
Lev, is she on the phone?
But when there's no chemistry,
Yeah.
I feel bad for actors who just have to like, really force a kiss.
Yeah.
Because it just comes off so weird on screen.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Well, it stems the breaks. Of
My
the
other
heart.
thing-
Maybe Adam Sandler doesn't want to kiss her either. You ever think about that? Maybe Adam Sandler's a
I
happily
don't
married
think
man.
about that. Also, hey, do you see Jackie Sandler in this?
No, where was she?
She says, I think she said something with the "Where's the beef lady?" I think that was her.
Oh, that was her. Okay, so the president, right? The president is committed to getting a task force of these gamers together.
Only 4, though.
Oh, yeah, only 4.
Only 4.
All from one event.
Wait, and isn't he one of the 4?
Yeah, no, he's not one of the 4.
No, he is. 'Cause
No.
there's Josh Gad, there's Peter Dinklage,
yes,
Adam Sandler,
and the Pac-Man guy. So when you
but he goes away instantly.
Yeah, when you exclude the Pac-Man
He's
guy.
like, oh, my son, you're a good boy.
Yeah. That's a dumb scene. I don't know why. So I take away the Pac-Man guy. There's only 3 of them, and they were all at one event that Kevin James was also at. I was like, you have a world full of gamers. You don't have any StarCraft like Korean guys hanging out there, or any of these modern guys. I don't understand.
Also,
there have to be more good gamers than just in the last 30 years. One of whom was in prison for 10 years.
Yeah, but also it's like what. It feels so. This movie's supposed to feel big, and it feels so small because, like, why are they only taking care of this one threat here? They should be showing, like, having people go. I don't know. It just
because there's only one battle at a time every 2 days. That's all. Your task force should be bigger. That's right. You could really win the Pac-Man game really easily if you had like 20 guys driving cars.
It's true.
There's no rule against that.
But
Just
there's
do
only
that.
3 ghosts, right?
There's 4 ghosts.
Oh well.
But like whatever, the aliens don't care, right? They don't know that. So just
no, they care about rules. They don't like when Peter Dinklage cheats.
They don't like when you use cheat codes. But I don't know, just go. The ghost thing isn't a thing, you know? That's my thought. Well, by the way, how the hell is he using cheat codes in real life? Where is he entering cheat codes so that it works? It works on physical properties of things. What is he entering them into?
Such a good point.
Why did nobody ask? Why?
Was like,
it blew my mind. Like he said, I used the cheat codes on my inside glasses. To which I thought, how? The car isn't programmed for your cheat codes.
He has maps in his glasses. That's fine. You can have a map.
Listen,
a map of the city.
The one thing I'm okay with is the one that they call out for being dumb is when Josh Gad gets his like lady love interest back to the video game, and it gets turned from Cuber, and then he makes out with her, and Adam Sandler was like, "Are we kidding? That thing was just Cuber.
Yeah,
this is gross."
That
was the only laugh all movie.
I kind of chuckled. I laughed when Brian Cox was like the Hall & Oates line.
Yeah, no, that wasn't funny. But no, I just like Adam Sandler be like coming out and finally saying, "Guys, this movie's fucking ridiculous. What are we doing here?"
Yeah, I wish they called that out more often, though.
I don't know. I wish
just be more self-aware. If you're gonna make this silly movie, be fine with it.
Nick Swartzen shut up for 5 seconds.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he's like
Sean Bean was in this too. I didn't see him.
Sean Bean was in it.
I saw him in the credits. I'm like, where? I saw him in the beginning, and then I saw his credits at the end. I'm like, where was he?
I have no idea where he was.
He's so general or something.
Really?
Yeah,
that's bizarre. No, yeah, he's like there's like a guy in the Pac-Man scene that gets like attacked, and so they go to him. He's like in a blanket in the back of an ambulance, and they're like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, it was Pac-Man." Yeah, and they have Jane Krakowski, from 30 Rock, and
she's the
Unbreakable
wife.
Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah, she's the president's wife, and she is not utilized at all in this movie. You could have had literally any person be in this movie, so why do you take her and then not utilize her at all?
I know, and she's so funny, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, she has this gift, so just do something with it. Just give her like a little something, just a little weird quirk or something to let her play off of. No, she's just the most boring thing ever. That could have been anyone. That could have been Kevin James' real wife, for God's sakes.
Why didn't they?
Yeah, right. At that point, just cast anybody in that role. She's barely in the movie, and she doesn't do anything when she is in the movie. So I don't understand. You brought her in to do nothing.
My last thing was the blonde warrior lady.
Yeah.
What?
Josh Gad. Josh Gad falls in love with a video game character at this video game tournament 30 years ago, and he's still in love with her when he's a grown-ass man.
They don't let her talk once.
And
then
yes,
it's just like he just like sexualizes her the entire time, And I'm like,
yes.
I thought we would move past this stuff.
Well, that's the thing, right? When you're in love with this character that was created in the 80s, those old connotations are, of course, going to come with it, right? So she's not going to be able to talk because she never talked in the real thing. So, yeah, it's just a bad, like, there's no real good way around if you're going to bring that 80s character to life. Like, of course, that's what's going to happen.
And this is his perfect woman.
Yeah.
A woman who doesn't talk.
That he wins, yeah.
And he wins her.
He wins her by just saying, hey, you can kill me? Like, I don't know, like, that so quickly happened and changed, like, whatever. And then, like, he dies, and then Peter Dinklage has to go into this whole expository rant about what he lost and like, how you guys saved the world, but then he lost his girlfriend.
And then she comes back as...
And then she magically comes back for no reason whatsoever.
No reason.
And then Adam Sandler says, this is fucking stupid. Hilarious.
And then we have an epilogue 1 year later. You watched this, right?
Oh, yeah, the weird little baby Cubert
now there's
things.
Cubert babies. I don't
whatever.
understand.
I don't know why you need that scene in the movie. That's not even a joke. I don't get what's going on there. Is that setting up a sequel, a dumb sequel? I don't know. That's like like Lake Placid, right? It was like 1 year later, and it was like baby crocodiles.
I need to watch Lake Placid. I've heard that.
And let me tell you what really bugged me, because the only thing I remember from this trailer is an evil coming to Earth, and like Pac-Man's like eating a building, and Adam Sandler goes, Pac-Man's a bad guy?
Yeah.
So I thought like it would be like this big reveal, like where Adam Sandler's driving around town, and all of a sudden Pac-Man starts eating buildings, and Pac-Man's like, and Adam Sandler's like, oh my god. But you already knew the aliens were sending Pac-Man down. Nick Swartzen in the previous scene told you Pac-Man is destroying New York. So nobody should be surprised that he's the bad guy, because you built freaking cars to defeat him, and were explained that was the whole point of why you were in cars and why you called them ghosts. So there is only one reason. Just
wanted to have that scene with the creator. Then.
No. You don't have to have Adam Sandler saying, "Oh, Pac-Man's a bad guy." You have to have everybody else saying, including Adam Sandler, who says it to him, "No, don't do it. It's a bad idea." So Adam Sandler shouldn't be surprised that Pac-Man's a bad guy. Here's why they put it in that movie. So for the trailer, that was a scene they wrote for the trailer in the feature script and never bothered to take out. That is what happened. They wanted that reveal in the trailer where you're like, oh my god, Pac-Man is the bad guy. This must be a video game movie. How'd you get the Pac-Man licensing? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
I was just... Yeah. When I watched this movie in the theater, I was like, oh, this is a pretty quick movie. It's pretty fluffy. And...
It is quick.
Yeah.
Mercifully quick.
Oh, when I watched it today, though.
No, well, when you watch it a second time, you know what's happening. It sounds awful.
Yeah, but I didn't remember. It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. You would remember. I feel like you remember.
I remember the scene in the closet because that disturbed me.
Yeah.
But I just was like, this is taking so long. I just want to get over here and record it.
You know what else is crazy? First of all, Pac-Man attacks New York early, which is against the rules, and that should be a thing. Secondly, you know when he's going to attack New York the second time. They tell you when he's going to attack. That's why you have cars built. Mm-hmm. So why are the streets still have people running away and people driving? Why is that whole city not blockaded and everybody forced to stay indoors? Why are people still doing work and delivering vegetables when you know an alien invasion is about to hit your city? Why?
Because no one cares.
Are
you done with this one? Please tell me this is over. Are you done? Do you have anything left? Please say no.
And then...
I'm not excited to talk about the next movie either.
And then, there's, the whole third act. You have them in the Donkey Kong place. But then you have everybody else just shooting, right? You have just your gamers and then the love interest. Melissa?
Michelle.
You have the love interest and Michelle, shooting... Now there's no paths anymore. They're just shooting everything that's running around. To which I think to myself, well, now you can bring the army back, right? If it's just shooting things now, we don't have to worry about a pattern. Mm-hmm. Just bring the whole army back, because all you're doing is shooting things. They know how to do that. Why didn't they bring the army back?
I don't know.
Why didn't they bring the army back, Joe?
And they were at the end, they're like, "Why? Well, hurry up!
Yeah.
We're only two people shooting all these people."
Yeah, they really want us to know that they really wanted to build those stakes, right? And make us feel like, oh my god, they have to save them soon, or something bad's gonna happen.
And
to these
I was
people.
and I took the
bad
time
writing,
and I'm like,
yeah,
oh god, thank God, there's only 10 minutes.
So here's the deal. Here's what bothers. Here's another thing that bothers me. They say you cheated because Peter Dinklage cheated, and so we're not gonna do a third act. We're just gonna come and invade you. And then when Adam Sandler's down there, they say, hey, we have one last challenge for you. To which I say, you've already invaded the Earth. You're already doing it. Why would you offer them why would you offer them the you've already taken it. They cheated. Why would you offer them the chance? Why? You could have just done this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Why now are you offering them a chance for the big guy wants to see you? Come on up. Why does the big guy want to see him? Why?
Because there are no rules.
It just they already won. You already. Why would you give them the upper hand? You believe they cheated. You're winning. Why would you do this? I don't understand this.
If you can.
And then Peter Dinklage comes back. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry for cheating." Why? Why now are you sorry for cheating when you were clearly a jerk the whole time? Why do you give a shit now? Why is your character arc happening off screen and so quickly? What's going on? Was that a scene that was cut, or just you didn't want to write it, or you didn't think you had to? Why?
I didn't care about any of these characters. There's nothing redeeming about them.
There's nothing in there at all. These characters are two-dimensional cardboard cutouts. Like, what are you gonna?
There's nothing to them.
This movie didn't bother me as much until I started to talk about it with you.
Oh,
like I didn't like it. It was a boring movie. It wasn't very good. But I was like, I'm used to that now, so I'm not expecting much. So I'm just like, oh, great, it's over. The end. Like, when I'm saying this, there's so many lazy things and lazy cracks here that just could have been filled. You know, you try not to dissemble a world like this, where like you have video game stuff coming out from the sky. You try to say like, okay, well that's just what happens in this world. I don't know why the aliens picked video game. I do know why the aliens picked video game. I don't know why Dan Aykroyd's in this movie. I know why.
Fuck.
Yeah. What movie was he in? Also, like he was in a previous one, wasn't he?
Oh, he was in the Jennifer Aniston one, right? Because the plastic.
Yeah. Just go with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah, it was a recent one, so maybe like they're friends now or whatever. So, right, so you sent out the video game stuff, and somehow the aliens came as video game characters. They thought it was a declaration of war. Fine, whatever, okay. So, but
Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon was in that one.
They were both in.
No, Kevin Nealon was in Blended.
Okay, these movies are really blended.
Yeah, shut up. But like when basic logical things are breaking down, just like just everybody doing dumb things just to make the movie go along. That's when you have to get annoyed and pick apart and just say like, so these could have been fixed, guys.
If you're going to make rules, then stick to them. If you could have
fixed these things, and you just wanted to hit these paper thin story beats, these boilerplate things, and
I'm going to let you know something.
Yeah.
From here on out, I haven't seen any of the ones we're going to be watching.
Oh, I thought you saw Hotel Transylvania too.
No, God, no. That was that when we watched that one the first time.
Maybe it's better.
I've never seen it before.
Maybe it's better.
I have a small.
Maybe it's better, Joe. Right? Maybe they figured some things out. They figured out a direction they want to go. Maybe now they open like a hair salon or something.
I think this one was less well received.
Okay.
The first one was modest.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Look, we're just tired thinking about this movie. Like we're just worn out by pixels.
Awful. Oh my God.
So it's just like whatever.
It's over.
Whatever pixels,
I was actually excited to talk about this one.
Why?
Because I didn't remember hating it in the theater.
Oh, okay.
And then when I watched it, I'm like,
Yeah.
And now I'm like, thank God.
It's pretty. Yeah, I got nothing.
There's nothing remarkable.
It's not really a great adjective. It's like okay, there it is.
It's so unremarkable.
There you are, pixels.
It's so frustrating.
I wish you didn't make that much money so that they wouldn't have to deal with you.
They were expecting this to be a huge blockbuster hit.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, with all the video games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You thought you'd bring the kids in the seats with Centipede? Ooh, boy, the Centipede. We love our Centipedes so much.
Galaga.
Yeah, kids don't care about Galaga, which we didn't even get to see. You just saw a picture of it. And then you had Pong, whoop-de-freaking-do. And then you had Centipede, which nobody has played. And Pac-Man is the one thing everybody kind of knows for reasons, because Pac-Man hasn't had like a game out in years, so like whatever. And Pac-Man 2 was this weird story time adventure thing. He had legs and arms and crap.
They should have done something with Miss Pac-Man. But of course, this is an Adam Sandler movie, and the women's roles are
That's
reduced.
not why, Joe.
I feel like that's
there is. If you listen, there are plenty of reasons to make that argument for how women are in his movies. But
you can make the argument in almost all of his movies.
Yes, exactly. Those are there. Those are fine. Those are fair. But don't go picking out the crazy ones because it just makes it harder to make the other points. Okay. They pick Pac-Man because.
Okay. In that instance, okay.
Pac-Man's the original. That's why, Joe.
I know. I should have. I'm gonna let this dog lay down.
You want to talk about the crappy role Michelle Monahan has? Fine.
She's a very crappy role.
Fine.
She's a great actress.
I mean, I haven't. she does okay. I have nothing I've seen her that makes me think that, but
she didn't have much to do in True Detective.
Exactly. Yeah, she's fine in that. She's not Kelsey Grammer in Modern Family standing out to me going like, oh my God, Kelsey, look what you're bringing here. But I don't blame her for that. I blame the roles. So
he's had plenty of years to figure out how to take a little role and make something out of it. Right? He was not on Cheers. He was just Frasier, and he was just this recurring role for a while, and then they just kept him on for even after Diane broke up with him for reasons, and I'm glad they did. When he was like a guest star for all that season 4, and then he has like an arc where like he's mad all season 4 at her, and then like they kind of work it out. They kind of work it out in the last episode of that season. It was this really sweet thing, but like, yeah, Cheers is good. Yeah. Right, and then season 5 when Sam and Diane are together. And like Frasier's kind of jealous, but also knows he doesn't want to get back with her. So like, and this
like,
is a great way to end the Pixels podcast.
It's Cheers. Everybody go watch Cheers.
It's on Netflix.
It holds up. It still does. It doesn't feel dated because it doesn't make pop culture references. It doesn't use CGI.
It's like
those characters.
Like a play
those characters.
Time.
But it doesn't feel like a boring play. Like it still feels funny and stuff. It's just an old school classic sitcom. It works. The characters are great. There's great interactions. The cast is constantly evolving. Just so that's what you think you might get bored. They find a way to regenerate it.
It made so many stars.
Its best seasons are in the second half. Like that show doesn't sink towards the end. That show still stays good, and it has one of the best final seasons I've seen a series have. That's a sitcom in a long time. It feels like a great ending. Like. Yeah, it's a great finale, too. Okay, that's enough about Cheers. All right.
Next time it's Hotel Transylvania 2.
Okay, that'll be very exciting. All right.
You are...
All right, yeah, Lev, all right, thank you. I'm sorry. We did forget to do our sponsor earlier in the show. Our sponsor, of course, today is... Tags. Yes, thank you, Tags, for being there where we need you most. You do so many things for many different people, and without tags, we would be nowhere. So we thank the American Council for Tags for sponsoring this week's program. And thank you, Lev. I did it. Can we move on? We'd like to, of course, thank our audio maven, Lev Van Rensselaer, for being on the soundboards. We'd like to thank...
Can you spell his last name for me?
Yes, VAN space RENSE. I'm looking at him now to make sure I'm doing it right. SENALIER. Is that correct? Yeah, see? There you go.
I would have believed you any way you spelled it. You could have spelled it P-O-O-P.
Why would I do that? That's not fair. We like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for working his audio magic as always. We like to thank all the callers who did not call in. And you can always, of course, find these podcasts and our short films at www.quixoticunited.com. I am Patrick Skeyhill, and with me, as always, is Break Your Glass, Joe Vekeman.
Smash.
Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
Very well. Yeah. All right. So, right, like I've told you of my distaste of Modern Family, right?
Oh, the show, not
the show
just how
Modern
you
Family.
feel about families in the modern.
No, families are fine. Blah blah blah. Whatever. The show Modern Family. I don't like it. I've gone on very long rants about how much I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've always thought it was very overrated.
I've seen one episode with an elephant.
Yeah, it's criminal. That it was like 5 years in a row best comedy, tying Frasier. But I don't know why I still watch it. Don't ask me.
Wait, what?
I do. I've been watching it all like 7 years it's been on. Partly because I like Ed O'Neill and the guy from The Class.
Wait.
The guy from the guy.
That's not. There's a different guy from The Class.
Yeah, it's a different guy from The Class.
When you usually refer to the guy from The Class, you refer to the guy who was in Walking Dead.
The guy from Walking Dead. The other guy from The Class too. Yeah, and John Ritter's son, the guy from The Class.
Oh, I like that guy.
The girl in Masters
Jason
of Sex.
Ritter.
The girl from The Class.
Oh, I know her name.
Yeah.
I don't know it right now though.
The girl who was in like 5 minutes of Hot Fuzz. The girl from The Class.
Ooh, don't.
Yeah. Why would you? I know.
I know that movie though.
Anyway, so another reason why I watch it is because for the 5 years it kept winning awards. Every time I had to have a debate about why Modern Family is a terrible show, it was good to watch it to be like, this is what this show does awful. And I've seen them like redo plots, like the back-to-back weeks just with different, like it was one set of characters where one character learned a lesson from the other character, and then the next week that second character taught that lesson to the previous character. Like, you both just learned it. I know you know this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The Simpsons waited till like the 18th season to
yeah,
release
it's
plots.
fine, which is fine. No, but I will say that Kelsey Grammer was in like a very recent episode of it.
Did you like an episode?
I didn't like an episode, but that guy, like, sometimes you were like boss and you think like, maybe, or the one where he's like a Navy commander and you're like, all right, maybe.
What?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that movie. It was like a comedy thing, like with Rob Schneider's in it too. Remember that movie?
Is this canon for the Sandler?
No, it's like in the mid-90s. I don't know. So, but like you think like, oh, maybe Kelsey Grammer can really just do Frasier well, and I guess Sideshow Bob. And
wait, was he playing Frasier in this?
No, but he, but like, so like you think he's like overacting or something, but like I don't know, he's like this like butler that used to date one of the guys in there in the show, and like I don't know, he finally like had some energy back into it. Felt like he was really trying and having fun and having a good time and being back on TV. I don't like it. Just
he wants that Emmy for guest star role.
Yeah, I don't know. You just I don't know. Like it made me reappreciate what he can do outside of that one role that I know him so well. So it was very like it was like I would say I like the episode, but it seems when he was in, he was like stealing the show and just making and just like showing up everybody else in the cast.
He can do it though.
He can do it. He does it so well. It's amazing, right? He's one of the more things. I almost wanted to see Transformers because he was in it.
Oh, don't.
I almost.
Don't.
If it had been less than like 2 hours and 40 minutes, I might have.
It'd be great. I only know about this episode that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be great if there was another butler played by David Hyde Pierce?
Oh, I haven't watched David Hyde Pierce in anything.
And they just give a show about the butlers for an episode.
There was an episode of Modern Family where they had the guy David Faustino who played his son in Married with Children. He was on the show and he didn't have
Bud.
He did not have one scene with Ed O'Neill. They couldn't even fit like a little thing in the tag.
What?
I know.
So silly. They do that all the time with Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
With the Roseanne characters.
Yeah, like it's just so bizarre. If you've got this guy from that show, just try to fit something in there just at the end, just so those guys can hang out on set for a day. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they do it with Last Man Standing. The Tim Allen show.
You watch that show?
No, I know of it because I've seen clips where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll watch this. I'm like, no, okay. I don't think I'll watch that.
All right.
I like Tim Allen, but I pick and choose with him.
I do not like Tim Allen.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, I grew up with him on Home Improvement. You should do your Home Improvement thing.
See, I didn't like that show.
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah.
No, there you go. Don't go into Scooby-Doo. Okay.
Raggy.
All right.
Okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this. You think I know?
It's been less time than there was before the last time.
All right. Okay.